Hello and welcome to episode 44 of FrannyDoMakes. My name is Fran. I am joining you today from a cold and grey Leeds in the north of England in West Yorkshire in the UK. This is my channel where I talk about everything that I make and create over the last 2 weeks. It's been slightly longer than normal just because of Christmas and New Year, and I did Vlogmas, so there were videos every day in December. But the Minnie went back to school today, so I have got some finished objects to show you, some plans for the year, and some new cast-ons, I suppose, for the next one. So I hope you're all well. I hope that you've had a lovely festive period. Mine was very nice, relaxed and chilled, and we didn't put too much on ourselves. So yeah, if you did watch Vlogmas, I did have a bit of a wobble coming up to the day, but I managed to get through it fine. It was good. Yeah, so I will get into that and everything else later on, but we'll get down to the nitty gritty and we will talk about what we've been making. So I'm here with a cup of tea. This is some fruit tea. I think it's a mulled cider. It's very nice. So I hope you've got something to drink. I hope you've got a project to work on, and we'll get talking about all the makes. Right then, I have 2 finished objects. I have some works in progress, and like I said, I've got some plans as well. Okay, then the first finished object that was finished was a pair of socks. These were my Advent socks for 2023. These were the Merry and Bright, again that way, Merry and Bright, no, that's not what they were at all. These were Deck the Halls. Deck the Halls, self-striping colourway from the Yarn Badger. So I knit these 2 at a time, cuffed down with an afterthought heel, and I'm really pleased with them. So for every day of December you got to knit a different stripe. So because I did them 2 at a time, I had 2 stripes to knit, but it was really manageable, and I'm glad that I did that as my Advent project because it means that I had them finished. So there's actually 25 because I put this same, must start again now, that colour, just because this dark was very similar to this, so I just wanted it broken a little bit. So that's all the colours there. This contrast was also part of the set. There we go. There was also, within the Advent, there was 2 50-gram skeins of yarn as well to open on Christmas Day. Let me see if I can find them. Oh, here we are. Oh, reminds me of something else I've not got out also. Spare with me 1 second. Yes, so within the Yarn Badger Advent, you also got these 2 50-gram skeins of yarn. So these are just called Merry Christmas. 2 50 grams, 200 meters each. They would make a nice slip stitch or colour work. Not that I'm going to do colour work socks, but they would make some nice 2 coloured socks. So there we go. Really lovely Christmassy colours there. That red is actually darker. It's darker than that. But anyway, I'd say it's got a bit more of a pinky tone to it. That's a bit more true red on the screen. But it might be different when I edit it, so who knows. Okay, there you go. What did I say about them? Yes, so they were cuffed down with a 2.25 1mm needle. I used my Chow Goo with the longest cord, which I think is about 1 metre long. Yeah, 100 centimetres, something like that. When I was making them, some of the tension on the joins was going a bit funny. But now that they've been blocked and washed, I think that's come out. I mean, you can still see a bit of a, you know, you can see where it was sort of folded, but I think they look really good. I'm not sure whether I might put them away for next Christmas, so I might have a little stash of socks to wear in December next year. Although I did buy some mince pies today because they were only 27p. And they're still in date, so I bought some mince pies because I like a mince pie. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased with that. I think I would do something similar to that again next year because there's less of the pressure of doing a full Advent project at the time. Because often you've got gift knits to make and other things like that. And it's a busy time of year, isn't it? Right, I have one other finished object which you might be able to see because that is what is on the wall today. So this is my other Advent project, which is just a granny triangle wrap. I didn't use a pattern as such, but I followed a video tutorial to make a crocheted granny triangle, which I will pop in the link below, and also a link to where I got the edging from, which I've used the edging on a lot of blankets that I've made in the past, so just bear with me and I'll get it down. Okay. Oh, I love this. I enjoyed making it so much. This is the Yann Advent from Giddy Yarns. It was inspired by, I got the little card, I don't think I've got it anymore. It was Midsummer Night's Dream, sort of pastel colours on the mood board, but it's a fade, so I'll hold it up for you. So the fade started here in the yellows, went through the yellows into the oranges and the pinks, and then the purples and the blues and the greens, and then that sort of limey green right at the bottom that I think if you'd have made it into a cowl and gone all the way around, it would be quite a circular fade. And then right at the bottom, here, this colour at the bottom, is the 100 gram Christmas Day skein, which was called The Course of True Love Never Did Run Smooth. So let me hold that up to you there. This one has all the different colours from the fade, so it was kind of a rainbow along the length. So like if you held it up, let me get into focus. If you held it up like this, one side was a rainbow and the other side was a rainbow, from what I remember. And there's some sparkle in it, but I can't think you can really see. But I basically just crocheted with a 4mm hook. I did start with a 3.5, but the one I was using was just it was not a very good quality one. I think I'd got it free with a magazine, and it just kept splitting the yarn all the time. So I swapped to use like a clover one instead. But yeah, so I crocheted with the yarn until it ran out. So whether that was partway through a row or whatever, it didn't matter. I just joined it with a knot, and then I crocheted over the edge for a couple of times, and then I weaved in the ends later. So I did most of that as I went. The only one I didn't do until it ran out was the last colour. So I just completed the round with that one, so that I could start a fresh round with the border, but I don't suppose it would have mattered if I'd not done that. I don't think it's overly noticeable anyway. And so the 100 gram skein managed to get round how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows of granny stripes. Sorry for that. And then I did a row of double crochets or treble crochets if you're in America. Is that right? Single, double, yeah. You know, it's them. And then I did, let me get it on my Ravelry, because I think it's Cedar somebody. It's the Lacy Peaks edging that I did on a blanket, like I said, blankets beforehand. It's by Cypress Textiles, so I will link that below as well. It's slightly modified. I didn't do as many of the chain loops at the end because I wanted the final picot border to be on the right side, so it was the nicer edge there. And otherwise it would have been on the wrong side if I'd done another row of that. And I did the picots every other sort of cluster. You see, I didn't do them like every 3. Did them every other. And then the little bit of yarn that I had left, which was not much at all, I just made some tassels for the edges and the central peak point, I should say, and that's it. Yeah, so that's it. I've not blocked it yet, and I don't know if I'm going to be honest. I mean, it might relax it a bit and make it even bigger, but it's pretty big, and I love it. I loved every single stitch of it. It was an absolute joy to make, and it was just so relaxing. And I think it works perfectly for a fade calendar. I think it would work perfectly with a non-fade calendar as well, but I think it was easier to not finish a row when you knew the next colour was going to match up with it. I love it. I don't know what else to say about it. It was just so much fun. It's just so much fun, and I did it in just over a week. A week and a day, I think it is all it took me to make it. I could have just kept going. If I'd had more yarn, I'd have just kept going. But this again was a 10 gram advent, just so you know. This was the 10 grams and the 100 gram skein. So if you did have a 20 gram advent, it would be around this size, which is pretty humongous. But it's just so pretty. But I've not used it yet. I was saving it to show you guys. But I might keep it on now. Or shall I put it up? I'll put it up because it's nice in the background. Right then, I have also got some works in progress. One of them is another advent project. Another one is something that I frogged. And the other things I'm going to show you are plans. Right. The first thing is, I don't know if you remember, but I was making a bobble cowl by Joje Locatelli in some one-of-a-kind yarn from Lay Family Yarns, which was this colourway. But I'd finished this and I'd enjoyed it so much that I wanted something else. I wanted something else that I was enjoying, and I knew that was sitting in the bag and I'd not picked it up for ages, and so I thought, oh, I'll pick it up. And I started looking at the pattern, and I just couldn't get the pattern into my head, because it was short rows and then you'd go the other way short rows, and the repeat just wasn't, and I didn't want to be just looking at the pattern all the time. I wanted something that I could just get in my head and run with, you know. And I saw that lovely Ruth from Ruthless to Knit was having a Twinset and Purl year of making their patterns. I don't know how else to describe it, but that's what she's doing. TNP year 24 or something is the hashtag for it. And I thought, oh, I'm sure I've got some of their cowl patterns in my library, which a lot of them are variations on their shawls and a free pattern. So this one is the Crest of a Wave shawl cowl, which is like a lovely lace pattern. Let me just move my tea so I don't dangle it in, and I'll give it a bit of a stretch out for you. Obviously this is not, it's still in progress, it's not blocked or anything, but you've got this can you see it's like a sort of shell pattern almost, or yeah, like very much like the Crest of a Wave. And there's eyelets in there. Oh, and I've just knit. So I cast this on New Year's Day. So what are we now? 8, so again a week's worth. And I've only got this left, so I don't want to not have enough to do the rib, but the rib is only like 12. So I might have enough to do another repeat. I think it says to do 11. So how many have I done at the moment? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I've done 11. I wonder if I can, hang on. I wonder if I can get it on. Oh no, I can't. I can't get it on. Oh, excuse my hair. I went for a back massage earlier, and she did all my scalp as well, so all my hair's like got oil in it and stuck out all over the place. So I think, I mean, there's not much there, is there? I think I will finish off. I think I've got one more, 2, 3, 4. I've got one more row of the pattern repeat, and then I will start the ribs. So this is going to be finished. But it's been an absolute joy to knit. It's a 6 stitch pattern repeat, and there's 12 rows, but it's really intuitive. It's really easy to follow. There is a little chart and it's written, but after doing it once in the round, because you're doing it like 20 something times all the way around, it was easy, super easy to learn. It's easy to read your knitting, you know exactly what you're doing. There's just those few, that short pattern repeat. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've gone wrong a few times and had to knit it back, but I've not had to frog anything or like massively look back or anything. I mean, there could be mistakes in it, but I don't think there are. But yeah, look at that. It's going to be so nice when it's blocked, and it's taken no time at all. So yeah, in terms of yarn out and in, I mean, when you see that I have actually bought things, and I got things for Christmas, it's a bit bad really, isn't it? But we're aiming for more out than in. That's the aim of the game this year. More out than in. And this was 340 grams. This is another 100 grams. So that's a good 400 grams already. I'm nearly out. So I think if I could get maybe a sweater started or get my other advent done, then I'm winning. I'm gonna be at least breaking even. I think. Okay, so that's one thing. The second one is living in a bag that my sister got me for Christmas with little gnomes on. And living in it is my Siobhan's Crafts Merry and Bright Advent. Let me see if I can get your face in there. There's so much colour. It's lovely. the pattern I've chosen for this one is the Speltas, written and designed by Samantha Troyer. So if I show you the last page, it shows you basically the setup of this pattern. Here we go. It's almost like a sort of thing of wheat, you see. So it's just garter stitch, straight. This is actually made for 25 colours, but I've only got the 24, so I'm going to have to fudge about with the last bit. So what I'm doing is knitting the part that this is only it's not taking even, it's supposed to be a 10 gram pattern, but it's not even taking the full 10 grams for each one. For example, I've got all these left from, in fact, let me weigh them. I mean, I've not weighed the mini skeins beforehand. It's just 4 grams. 5. So I'll probably be able to use some of these for my knitted patchwork blanket. They're about 11 grams, these minis. Yeah, they're about 11. So it's probably taking about 6 grams, 5 or 6 grams for each. Whatever the shape is called. She calls it grains in the pattern. Right. So I have done, sorry, because I've got stitches on hold in 2 places, so it's a bit hard to hold it up. There you go. So there's the first and second colours, the third, oh, that's the wrong side, and then this pink one, I'm sorry, it's really hard to hold up. This, what's going on? Oh, hang on a minute. It's because I've got these stoppers on and they're a bit heavy. Let's get it on the needle so it's not as wobbly. There we go. Okay. There. I don't know why that was so hard. So, first colour, second colour, third colour, and then we're decreasing. So it's going to be straight up each side, and they'll sort of overlap each other on the middle. So this is going to decrease here and we'll pick up along here and then join these held stitches, and then decrease on this side, I believe. So it's going to be very bright. And these two have sort of merged into one. There's more colour in that one, but it's pretty much the same. So my next colour, what are we on now? 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, no, is this one. There we go. So within the colours, there's brights, these ones that are like speckled ones, but it does kind of follow a colour family. So it started off mostly white with some stripes of colour, and then more stripes of colour and less white, and then more of a speckled lighter one, and then that pink one, which is in here somewhere, but oh, there it is. There. That's used slightly more, that last colour, so maybe I don't have enough for my blanket, but I will have enough to put in my magic knot balls for my corner to corner. Right, that's living in there with some extras that I got in the Advent So this was an extra, the pin was an extra. I got tape measure, sorry, show you that. I've got a lovely soap in a bag. That didn't come in the advert. My Auntie Tina bought me these soaps. There was 3 in the box, and they're lemon ones, and oh, they smell just like lemon curd. They're delicious. What am I looking for? Oh, they're in here. You got some little snips, a load of stitch markers. This one had got lost in the box, so you won't have seen this one. Which is lovely. And there was a little row counter, which is in here somewhere. Oh, there. Which I've been using for this. It's been quite useful. So. Go, put that in the little bag. And that is on 3.75 millimetre needles. Just going to get that onto, I've done the 4th, I'm onto the 5th now. Yep. It is a paid pattern, so I'm not showing you it. Okay. I still have my flossy socks, so my Strictly sock along didn't go very well. I managed 1 sock out of it, but I did have other socks that I worked on during that time, but I just didn't post them in the thing, so it doesn't matter. So I've got that sock to finish, which is an outstanding work in progress from last year, but everything else is going to be new ones. If you saw in the Vlogmas episodes, I did go through, and do you see here? This is a bag of wrapped up skeins of yarn, and I asked Minnie to pick out one for January, and she picked out this set. So this is a set from Lockwood Fibres. It was a Mystery Yarn Club set, and I'm thinking of making the Vanilla Souffle socks by Christy Houghton, I think. They're living in a bag that my Auntie Tina got me, which is a little Cath Kidston. I think it's like a wash bag, but it works lovely as a sock bag. So there we go. It's so pretty. It's got a lovely heart on it. So they're living in there. And the other project that I'm planning on doing is a crochet. It's a sweater pattern, but I'm thinking of doing the short sleeved version. I have recently booked my tickets to go to the East Anglia Yarn Festival in March. I'm going with my friend Becky, and we are driving down and staying the night on the Saturday, and we are meeting up with our friend Kirsty, who lives down that way, so she's going to also come to the show with us, even though she doesn't knit or crochet or anything, but she's going to come just to spend some time with us, and we're going to have a lovely time. So I'm excited about that. But the there's some knit and crochet alongs to make for the yarn show, and if you wear them you get to wear a little tag. So I have chosen, because I had so much fun making this, I chose to do the Cande Pullover. This is by Sandra Gutierrez. So it's got this kind of like lace work on the yoke. Is there a short? Yeah, there's a short sleeved version there. I've made a swatch, but I've not blocked it yet. But I plan to use my Shapey's Whirl. I saw one in the Ravelry projects that had used a whirl for it. And I don't have enough yarn of the same colour to make the full sweater, but I didn't want to buy any more. But I'm pretty sure that there'll be enough to make a t-shirt in this. It's about, is it 1,000 metres in there? Oh, here's the label. So it's the shape you swirl. The colourway is Watermelon Hellraiser, and it's cotton. 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. There's 225 grams. It's 1,000 meters long. That's the colourway. Go on. There we go. So it starts from this bright pink and then works its way out to the dark. So I'll start with the pink, I think, and fade it down. And then the sleeves, if there is, there'll only be a little short sleeve, there'll be whatever colours left. Yeah, so I have made up the swatch, which I think might be okay. I don't really want to faff about changing the hook size. She does recommend a cotton yarn in the recommended yarns, so 3mm and 3.5mm. And I do also want to cast on a Cozy Classic Light as well, which I've been meaning to cast on for ages. Okay, so now I will go through some of the acquisitions and presents that I got for Christmas that are yarn related anyway. First of all, Mr. B got me a new project bag, which is this lovely ET bag. He also got me a mug that matched to go in there. I love ET, it's one of my favourite movies. So there's ET. That bag from Auntie Tina as well. And my sister also purchased me some yarn from Coastal Creatives Links, and I'll speak to my sister. She's coming to the door. Hang on. Oh, I'm all blown about. She was just seeing if I was walking up to school, but Minnie's got drama class after school. But I had a little stroke with little Ziggy Ziggingtons. Yeah, so she purchased this, which is a Christmas colourway, I think. It's called Poinsettia. And it comes with 2 minis. I don't know if it came with them, but I think she contacted them and asked them how much she would need for me to make 2 pairs of socks. So we can have a pair each. So that's those. And then I saw lovely Suzanne of Green Lambkin Yarns was having a sale. And so I went on and I purchased 4. I mean, what was I thinking? But anyway, they were so pretty and they were so reasonably priced. Right, and I thought these might go together quite nicely. Right, they're all on the sparkle. Here we go. So the first one is called Bramble. There's Suzanne's label. So they're all merino, nylon and stellina. So that's Bramble. And then we've got Cosmic Wonder, which is a bit darker. It's got more black into it. Then there is Blossom Pixie, which is baby pink with lovely speckles. And then there's Fairy Forest. Which I think is my favourite, and my sister really liked it also. So this might be some new nice mittens for each of us. And lovely Suzanne, as she does, has popped on a little progress keeper there, which is a lovely ripe little peach. Beautiful. So there we go. I couldn't help it. They were so pretty. And the last thing I've got to show you is this weekend I went with, my sister was supposed to be coming, but she's been ill with COVID and is only just well enough to go outside really and walk about. She's been very, very weak and exhausted really. It's really hit her this time, which it hit her last time because she's had it, this is the second time she's had it, and it made her very poorly last time and again this time. I luckily have not, I don't think I've ever had it, so I don't know. But anyway, we'd had this booked for ages. We were going to Edinburgh to see the musical Wicked at the Edinburgh Playhouse. We had this booked from I think February last year to go with my cousin and my auntie and my cousin's daughters, so like my great nieces or whatever, and my sister and her daughter was supposed to be going, and me. But then my sister got too poorly and Holly didn't want to come, that's my niece, and so we had to sort of rally and see if anyone else would pay for the tickets and come with us. So my friend Kim came along with me, and then one of my cousin's daughter's friends came with her. So we managed to use the tickets and the hotel. But as I was in Edinburgh, it would be remiss of me not to pay a visit to lovely Jess at the Ginger Twist studio, and so I did, and I decided to pick up a sweater's quantity of, oh, I nearly fell over in my chair, some of her DK, this is 100% merino DK in the colourway Emerald City. Now, I didn't buy that on purpose. It did not even connect in my head that it was Emerald City and we'd been to see Wicked. It must have been a subconscious thing. But yes, so I've got 3 skeins of those. I think that's plenty enough to make a love note maybe. I'm actually seriously considering possibly getting some of that sequin yarn and holding that with it, and then I might have a green sparkly. That one looks a lot darker, but I would obviously have to alternate the skeins. They're all the same dye lot. Oh yeah, I think they're all the same. I think it was just the angle that it was at. They've all got some variation in them. But yeah, I love green. Right, where are we at? It's longer, but I've had some extra time in it. I've also set up with Helen from Giddy Yarns. She's doing a bingo board for 2024. So I put mine together also. So let me put this on the screen. Let me just move across. So I have 9 challenges to myself. So the first one is to do a colourwork project. I have got the yarn in stash to make a colourwork jumper of some kind. It was going to be the Forestland sweater, so it might still be that. I've got the pattern. So that's what I want to make, a colourwork project. It might not be a sweater, in the end it might be something smaller like some mitts or something like that, but I do want to have a go at colourwork. I want to have, like I said before, more yarn out than in, and I am tracking that on a Google Docs spreadsheet thing. I want to get one sock cast on a month. Note, I have not said that I want to finish one sock a month, but I want to get a pair cast on every month. So with these things, I want them all cast on in the month, so hopefully I can get one of those that cast on. I might even do it 2 at a time. Possibly. Having known that I can do this in a month without spending overly long on it every day, I can, if I have that in my head, that I can just do, you know, like a couple of repeats on the sock a day, then I know that it's manageable. I don't have to think, oh, I need to get it done. So I think that's manageable. I've done 13 pairs of socks this year, so there we go. I want to get my spinning e-spinner out and spin once a week, so I'm going to set aside a day to do that, which I'm hoping will be, I'm going to try and do that on a Wednesday. So when I finish work on a Wednesday, Minnie is at her grandma and granddad's, and they usually have an hour before she gets home, so that would be a nice little time to put aside for that. So spinning. I want to sew another pair of trousers. I'm getting really sick of wearing jeans. I'm not finding them comfortable at the moment. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a weight thing, I don't know, but I'm not finding them comfortable. But I did make a lovely pair of trousers a couple of years back, which were the Chandler trousers by Untitled Thoughts. It's an independent person. I think she's released like some trousers, a dress, a top or something. She's not got loads of patterns, but I've got the pattern for that. I've got the pieces cut out. I would just need to get some more fabric to make them and set aside some time. So within the year I would like to make another pair of trousers, because they fit really nice and are really comfortable. They're like secret pyjamas. I want to make sure that I keep a track of my stash, so as well as tracking what's going out and what's coming in, I want to know how much I've got of everything. I want to know what I've got in terms of leftovers and things like that. So I need to make sure that I weigh everything when it comes in, I weigh everything when it's finished, so I know exactly how much meterage I've got in the stash. I thought I'd missed it, but it's down here, a box. I've put on there that I want to make a Whitmore and a colours. I didn't realise I'd put and. Thought I'd put or, but either or. I've got the yarn for a Whitmore and the yarn for the Cozy Classic Light. I'm going to try and cast the Cozy Classic Light on this month or the start of next month, and ideally the Whitmore maybe later on in the year. I want to practice watercolour painting a little bit more. I got some watercolour paints and some paper, and then they've just sat in my room for I don't know how long, and I know we have a subscription to Skillshare, and I would like to use that to a better advantage and actually use it for something, so I might do some watercolour tutorials and things on there. And the last thing is to make a brioche project. So within my plans for last year, I think, no, not even plan, I didn't even plan it, but I bought the yarn to make a brioche, 2-colour brioche shawl. Not all brioche, but it has some brioche in it, and I wanted to try that again because I really enjoyed it the last time I've made it on the Stephen West shawls that I've made. and I wanted to make the All About That brioche shawl with the colours that I bought at Yarndale. Yeah, that is my plans. I did do a kind of run through of all the things that I'd bought, that I'd made over the last year, and I ended up with 31 finished objects last year, which I'm really pleased with. That's the most that I've ever had in a year. I did 12 pairs of socks, 7 garments, I can't believe I did that, 7 shawls or cowls, 3 toys and a hat, and some dishcloths. So there's some good numbers there. And I'm not an overly fast knitter, but obviously some things are more, you just get them done, don't you? Like this just flew off. And that's, you know, one finished object already this year. That's done. I've almost got a second here, so that's not even 2 weeks in, I've got 2 finished objects already. So I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling positive. So long as we don't lose the knit mojo. Does it have a name, that? I don't think it does. Right. I've waffled on enough and I've thrown everything in your face. Enough. So, thank you for joining me again today. I hope that you're all coping with the miserable weather. Gosh, hasn't it been wet? If you're in the UK, it's been so wet. We hardly got anything done over Christmas. It just rained. It just rained and rained and rained. It's flooded. Not here, flooded, but all the surrounding area. The fields are absolutely sodden. On the journey up to Scotland, we were going on the train, and you could just see everywhere was just waterlogged, and now it's cold, but thankfully it's dry. So yeah. Okay. Oh, another thing, I have also signed up for Green Lambkin's blanket club, the monthly club, which is the DK version, and I want to over the year make a blanket for Minnie as well. I haven't decided the pattern. I might do the Victorian, is it the Victorian lattice square, because I really like how that looks, but I'll have to see how the colour ways work in that. But that's what I'm planning to do. So let me know, what are your plans for the year? Have you got some goals that you want to achieve this year? Have you got a little plan or a notebook or a wall chart or something on your phone, something that says, this is what I want to be not accountable for, but this is what I want to try and achieve this year. I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy yarn, because obviously I've already bought some. I'm going to say that I'm going to do what I want, really. I'm not forcing any restrictions on myself, and I like to support the dyers and the makers out there that need the support at the moment. So if I'm going to go to yarn shows, I'm going to buy some stuff. If I spot something that I like, I'm probably going to purchase it. So yeah, I'm probably going to not buy any more this month because I've already got how many? 700 grams coming in, and there's only about 5 going out. So unless I can whip something up really quick and get them out again, then I don't know. I need a chunky weight sweater or something, don't I? Just chuck it out, get it done and get that. But I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. So thank you for joining me. I hope you have a lovely 2 weeks ahead of you. I hope you've been well and you've had a lovely seasonal celebration and time, and yeah, leave me a comment, let me know how it's going. If you like the video, please click the thumbs up, and also if you're not subscribed already and you have been watching, then please do click the subscribe button, and it will let you know when I next release a video. They do come out every 2 weeks normally, and I try to get some finished objects there for you. Yeah. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a lovely 2 weeks ahead of you, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. Bye.